Good evening. I'm Michele Pollard Patrick, your seminar instructor for the evening. We're going to spend the next 2 hours learning dining etiquette. And when we leave tonight, I hope that you all will feel perfectly comfortable at the table. A few years ago, my husband and I were invited to a formal dinner at the Waldorf Astoria in New York. We didn't know anyone who's attending the dinner, and when we arrived, the place setting looked much like this. Well, everybody at the table was very concerned about the number of forks, knives, and spoons at the table, and they were all abuzz about which fork and knife to use. Now, I do have one rule in my family, and that is that they are never allowed to tell anyone what I do for a living, because once people know it, they never want to eat with me. This night, my husband was feeling particularly proud and decided he was going to be the problem solver for the evening. So he told everyone not to worry. Michele is an etiquette instructor, and she'll step you through this meal. We sat down to the table. The host stood up to welcome everyone and raised his wine glass. We all raised our wine glass with him, and we took a sip of our wine. A few seconds after that, my husband gave me the elbow, leaned over and whispered, "How was the wine?" I said, "It was great. Didn't you like it?" And he said, "Well, I wanted to like it, but the gentleman sitting on my right thought that my wine glass was his, and he took it and drank from it." And I said, "Don't worry. The right thing to do is to quietly tell the server he'll bring you another glass of wine." Well, a few minutes later, they served oysters Rockefeller, which is pretty traditional dish in New York City. And the oyster fork, or seafood fork, is the only fork that will be on the right side of the place setting. I got the elbow again. This time my husband said to me, "May I borrow your oyster fork?" And I said, "Where's yours?" He said, "The gentleman on my right has it." Well, I followed up with, "I can't give you my oyster fork. You've just told them I'm the etiquette expert, and I have to use a fork. You're going to have to eat from the shell." But that's not actually what we did. We quietly told the server again. Now the server's caught on. Very astute. He has a little table set up on the side, and lined up on that table, all the silverware that you'll see on the right side of the place setting, so my husband could get through the rest of the meal. Well, we went through the meal. We did fine, and at the very end of the evening, they served baked Alaska. Baked Alaska, for those of you who may not have had it, is a flaming ice cream cake, and it presents beautifully. The lights are turned out. The servers march through the dining room with these flaming cakes, and they come to your table and they present right in front of you. This is when my husband lost it. He turned to the man next to him and he said, "Buddy, you've been taking my food all night and my utensils all night. If you take my baked Alaska, you're dead."